record.
Right.
I say motherfucker America, motherfucker America mother, motherfucker America daddy, America can eat a dick, America can lick the balls.
That's right. This is
Amen to that.
the Great Satan. I'm joined with original third mic on the show, Tyler Easterling from Dixieland of the Proletariat. Man, I mean to ask you about that podcast name, Proletariat. What kind of Jeep is that?
Well, actually, it's a Ford. You know,
The Ford Lariat?
yeah, it's a Ford Lariat.
Pro Edition.
The Pro Edition, yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's none of that commie nonsense like people believe.
Right. That's right. So you got you a fat lip packed? You getting ready to just like wind down for the evening? What you up to, man?
Yeah, just got off work.
Hell yeah. And you're an essential worker?
Yeah, more or less. I cater to all the eating needs of East Montgomery, the Wind Lakes, Deer Creek crowd.
The rich folks.
Yeah, I'm fattening them up for the guillotine.
Hell yeah. Nice. I mean, that's good. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Shit, what was I going to talk about tonight? Let me pause for 2 seconds. So tomorrow is May 1st, and we're in Alabama. We're in a place where they're doing like a soft open on the state with a 50% on retail. But bars should not be opening.
Not really, not socially. I'm not gonna rap, but
It also
there
don't
are
say anything by name, but like, what have you heard about unnamed bars?
talking about bring your own cooler or bring your own cup. Now we're not a open bar, but we will sell stuff to fill those things.
Oh shit, the place you work is doing that?
No.
Oh.
The place I work, we are straight curbside.
That's what I thought.
You can buy a bottle of wine, but after that, you gotta fucking go.
Got it. Hell yeah.
We're all concerned about the COVID. None of us want to get it. We don't want to spread it, but we understand people need to eat, and I've got bills.
Right. Yeah. So let's say hypothetically a bar owner is going to be doing that. Would they let people into the bar to fill their cooler?
Yes. They would offer other sort of like entertainments, like say like games.
Okay, that's legal?
As far as I see, yes, with loopholes.
Huh. I wonder, I'll hit the phone tomorrow to talk to some like gaming industry people.
I think they actually, I said May 1st. I think it's May 15th. I think they pushed it back a couple of days ago.
Got it. Yeah, a couple of days. Well, bars are definitely pushed back on like a wait and see because they're still on shelter in place as of tomorrow. However, retail is opened with 50% occupancy, which means like if you have a 50% or if you have a 50 full occupation per the fire marshal under normal circumstances, you have 25 people allowed in your retail establishment. So, but a bar isn't a retail establishment. Or are they trying to just like get new liquor licenses and try to fuck the thing up?
I think honestly, it's just they're not big bars that are doing it. It's the smaller bars that I've seen.
Right. So some of
think
those are attached to liquor stores anyway, like your package stores that are like a little bit out on 231, shit like that.
Yeah, I think it's mostly small business tyrants, kind of scared of losing a lot of their money.
Yeah.
So they're just doing whatever they can to survive. Well, not survive, but do whatever they can to stay comfortable.
Right, there you go. Keep making them fucking boat payments.
Yeah, yeah. But there's also I talked to someone from another restaurant that is going to be opening for curbside. They're having a lot of problems with their employees not wanting to come back because fuck, why would you? Because you're making more.
Right, yeah, your Bernie check is a living wage. And your Trump check was like a one-time payment. And to come back to work, you lose that living wage, and you're definitely not fucking unionized.
Yeah, no. Especially with the restaurant industry.
Yeah,
Now, I'm lucky. I work for one of the few in the world good small business owners.
yeah, I know that guy, by the way. Your boss?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know him. He's fucking rad.
yeah. So we're playing it smart, and I think other people are trying to play it smart. But when you come to like these kind of bars type places,
Yeah,
there's no way to control your crowd.
right.
You're going to end up losing your liquor license. You're going to end up getting your employees out of a job, which I mean might be a good thing. And
well, it would have been if you'd closed correctly to be out of a job,
Yeah.
but if you're closed because the business closes, you're not eligible for that Bernie check.
Nope.
So it actually kind of fucks everybody. And there's not a lot of information like that out there either. A lot of people that I talk to that are essential workers, that if their employer gets shut down, it's not the same thing as them going on unemployment because of COVID. So they don't get any kind of the stimulus money. As small as that stimulus money was, and as short-sighted as that was, it was just something to push through, and we're definitely appreciative of it. So I don't want to say it's nothing. It's just not as much as it could have been, and it's definitely not as working class oriented as it could have been, considering this is like a whatever kind of the line go up, line go down thing. It's a demand side recession. We definitely should have given all that money to workers, but
Yeah.
1/4 of it going to workers is better than nothing, and that's what would have happened, if we hadn't really kind of paid attention to it.
Well, I think it's also funny too. You had this small business loan going around to keep like restaurants afloat,
Yeah,
and then all these big corporations swallowed that shit up.
yeah,
The business I work for, we were lucky enough to get in there early enough that we got ours,
yeah.
and a lot of our servers got taken care of.
Nice.
And because those are the ones really hurting in the restaurant industry. Because if I'm not mistaken, they're not really getting much on their unemployment because
with outside of that Bernie
based off
check,
what?
so like I've talked to servers, and because it was based on their hourly,
Yeah,
without that Bernie check, without that $600 a week stimulus, they would be making like $30.
yeah,
You can't live on that, right? Nobody can live on 30 a week.
No.
Not if you got a
No.
house payment and whatever else, So that's definitely keeping a lot of people not just afloat, but and it's weird too, because some of those servers, that's the thing that people are going, oh, some people are making more on unemployment than they were when they were working. Well, no, these servers were making more than $600 a week on on tips, and a lot of them love to be at work, right?
Yeah.
So they're not making more than they were. They're making just enough compared to where they were,
Yeah. And I mean, it seems like a lot now because the cost of living, other than bills, has gone down because, there's there's no, like,
yeah,
it's just super cheap.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, gas is 70 cents or whatever. Filet mignon's $2.
Now they're shutting down your meat packing plants. The price of beef, I just got an inside scoop today, it's about to skyrocket. So buy your beef now.
Yeah.
Freeze it.
I saw my dad through the grapevine. I heard he hocked up on some beef hella cheap, off market beef. So yeah, because they're throwing it's fucked up because they were throwing it the fuck away, right?
Yeah, that's what they're doing with the pigs too. They're incinerating pigs because the packaging plants are shut down, so they can't do anything with them. So it's a huge waste.
Yeah. And if they just called up like private processing, like hunting processing plants or something, and said, just come get this shit, fill your freezers. Call a restaurant, call whatever, and just say,
Call a dog food company.
Great example. Call a dog food company and say, come get this shit. And just keep it off the fucking books so that it doesn't affect the price and you're not all scared about the fucking line go up, line go down again.
Yeah. Now's the time to shop locally. Shop with your local farms, your small farms, if you have access to that.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, holler at them and say, hey, if you want to get rid of a carcass.
Yeah. Or shit. I mean, I've been doing a lot of fishing. Like, that's been my main source of
hell yeah,
food income.
Hell yeah.
But you'll be surprised, like the lakes and shit, there's no social distancing going on there. Like, I'll pass a pontoon boat with 15 drunk college kids on there.
Damn.
What are you fucking doing?
They're partying, man. What are you supposed to do, man?
Well, social distance. Party by yourself.
Right. Well, they can't,
Yeah.
That has been probably my favorite part of this is like we've just trained everybody to not be able to be alone, whether it's without a phone, with a phone, without the computer, with the computer. Like no one reads, no one hangs out by themselves. Everybody's just like, they get off work and go straight to the fucking bar, you know?
Yeah.
And it's interesting to watch people just how quick people lose their fucking minds being stuck alone.
Now's a good time to face all those demons, get through all that personal shit.
Big time. Yeah, man. What I've been doing is a heroic amount of mescaline.
Yeah, hey, if I didn't have a child, like I'd be right there with you.
Yeah, man.
But fucking I've talked to the drug dealing homies, and apparently, like, it is fucking like Christmas for them.
Yeah, big time. And pricing is crazy too, because you got people that are not like, you got your like Christmas and Easter cocaine users, well, fuck, they're bored out of their tit and they're trying to work from home. Ain't nothing like a work ethic juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now's the time to sell that Adderall script that you've been sitting on,
Big time. I'm not trying to let go of mine. I got that shit sitting in a closet for a rainy day. I got a screenplay to finish. I'll start using again. But for right now, that shit stays in the closet. I don't fuck with drugs.
No, you brought up Dixieland and the proletariat. I emailed a couple of pre-workout companies trying to get a sample of like their pre-workouts, and I told them, I was like, yeah, I have a podcast. We've got a bunch of listeners. I'll give you a shout out. I got so much free pre-workouts.
Oh shit, I got retweeted by a bunch because I drink. That's my fucking shit. Tonight I'm drinking bourbon and ginger, but the first 3 episodes of this, I was fucking up on vodka and strawberry lemonade pre-workout.
Nice. I haven't mixed it with alcohol, but like I'm not shouting any of these fuckers out. They sent me free t-shirts and shit.
Yeah. And
the first company, like the t-shirt they sent me, huge fucking American flag right here, and I was like, yeah, I'm not shouting people out.
Yeah, fuck that. The company that I use, I won't say their name because I don't know their politics. I don't know their positions on stuff. But they do, like, really all I fuck with is it has to be independently lab tested, right? That's all I care about. That's it. Independent lab testing and then market rate on the vitamins that are in it, right? So
yeah,
the amount of caffeine, I fuck with BCAAs a little bit, but I'm really just about the caffeine on a pre-workout.
Yeah, because I've been doing like crazy just amount of running. I've been doing about 40 miles a week, trying to go to like trails and shit. Yeah. This week I've done fucking Lagoon Park in its entirety every day. Trying to find that alligator. I've been trying to find that alligator. They say beware of alligators. I want to find the fucking alligator.
I saw it about 3 weeks ago.
Really? I've seen
tracks. I didn't know you ran over there. Say it again.
I've seen the tracks. And I've
Yeah,
seen a
no,
couple
I
snakes,
saw
but
it. I saw it. I was running out there about 4:30 in the morning a couple weeks ago. Yeah, man, I saw that shit.
shit. So you're located in Cloverdale, right?
No, I'm in Dalraida.
You're in Delrado.
Dalraida.
For some
I'm
reason,
hella close. Where
I
are
wonder
you?
what Cloverdale's like with all this shutdown.
It's real funny, man. It's real funny. From what I've seen, it's just a fucking ghost town. But then about 3:30, 4 o'clock, which is when all the state workers usually stop working anyway, uh, they're all like walking dogs and shit. So it's basically like it is over here.
I wonder if the fleas have took over 1048 yet.
Oh, fuck. If I was the owner of a bar that had a history of being infested with fleas, I would for sure fumigate in this trying time.
I don't think they really care. I mean, nobody goes to 1048 if you like. You're there when you stop caring about your own well-being.
Or you got to play drums for a cover band.
Yeah, that too. That too.
In some of our cases. No, I've never. It's weird because like I've heard people say they get fleas up in there, but I've never had a problem with it.
It's either fleas or it's always the shitty cocaine. One of the two.
See, I don't fuck with cocaine, so that's another. I'm a lucky man.
Yeah, see, since my child's born, I've really calmed down.
Hell yeah.
The occasional bit of alcohol is about as far as I'll go nowadays.
Hell yeah. What are you drinking on this evening?
Let's see, I've got a little vodka and cranberry, and then I've got a little Patron left.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We call that white on white crime.
Hey. And then I've got a couple beers over here if I need them, but.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. So I didn't know you ran over at Lagoon Park. How far out of town do you live? I thought you lived out in the country.
I do. I live in Titus, which is about 50 minutes from Montgomery.
God damn.
But like it's Lagoon Park is like on my way to work, so I usually stop there and run. I'll run in Wetumpka every now and then. I'll do swayback on the weekends.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, Swayback fucking rocks.
Yeah, it has been so packed recently. It's insane.
That's crazy. So people are just hitting trails like this isn't even happening.
Oh yeah, like the gym's closed and the entire like workout community
Yeah,
has seemed to have lost their mind.
that's crazy.
I'm like, just pick heavy shit up, put heavy shit down. I mean, it's
Yeah, I'm like mostly a body weight guy. Like I do, chins and push. That's pretty much my whole shit. Chin ups, push ups. I throw ankle weights on, and fuck around like that. And then I run now. I haven't been running but for like about a year. But 40 miles a week, god damn, man.
yeah. I do about 5 miles a day at Lagoon Park. If you do, there's a certain way to do it. Like you go down each trail and then you go down the fucking big ass loop.
Yeah.
It's about 4.5.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I'll do the big ass loop real fucking slow. Or I'll do the short to the overlook gazebo.
Yeah.
I'll just like run that as fast as I can and then turn around and go back as fast as I can. And that's
So let's get a little
2.1 sprint.
Let's get a little political.
Yeah, let's do it.
Who do you think is Biden's VP?
Man, if I had my rathers, no. Obviously, if it's anybody other than like Nina Turner, I'm not voting for his ass. But I think early on his hinting was at like a Kamala Harris thing, where it's
That's what I'm thinking. That's
as far right as him or even farther right.
yeah. And then I was thinking maybe Warren for a little bit because she snakes so hard.
Yeah. I think that's what kept her in for Super Tuesday and really fucked us.
Yeah.
Like, there was hints and promises at it. I think though, I mean, it might be Candace Owens. He said it was going to be a black woman, and he's a Republican, so why not?
Yeah. I just think either way we're fucked.
Yeah. No, it's Condoleezza Rice.
That would be a power move.
That would be a big dick move.
Yeah.
Look, hey, Republicans, look, we don't like this Trump guy. She doesn't like this Trump guy.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just going to, it bums me out.
Yeah.
Because, like, even with his rape allegations and all that, like, there's nothing this guy can do that will make him look bad in the liberals' eyes.
Right.
So,
I mean, so I've seen a lot of people talking about ways in which he can win, right? Obviously, the economy is so fucking bad and job prospects are so bad that why would you vote for the guy that's already in office, right?
yeah.
But the people that the guy in office is really fucking the hardest love him.
Oh, yeah. That's like fucking, it's like Mississippi was the poorest state, but it's still like the most conservative state.
Right. So, I mean, and maybe it's us because we're here and the poorest people we know fucking love the guy. And, you know, maybe in other places, people actually are voting in their class interests for him and it's all small business tyrants and landlords that like him. But I don't know, because he just fucked a bunch of landlords with this whole COVID thing. The way he handled it, a bunch of these like Airbnb little empire type feudalist assholes, they're going broke too. So maybe they'll want a little bit of something regulatory going on. Who knows?
Well, the right recently with all this, with like the stimulus shit, even though it wasn't much, they've been pulling a couple socialist moves.
Yeah, yeah. We got to say socialist in quotes, but socialist in terms of like, I mean, he has definitely moved to Biden's right. I mean, sorry, to Biden's left on tons of stuff. Like, he's kind of said a Medicare for all system would work for the 6 to 8 months or whatever until things get better or just to see what happens, you know? I mean, but he also told people to inject bleach, so we don't really know what he means when he says anything. But if he gets on the debate stage with Biden and they ask him, hey, if Congress puts Medicare for all on the table, are you going to veto it? Biden's going to say, well, I said a couple years ago that I'd veto it, so I guess I'm going to veto it. And then Trump's going to go, I don't know. Let's see. Like,
yeah.
Because
I think Trump's more like aware of the shit that's going on.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to say some really like ambiguous things to try to catch the left and kind of make, you know, he's going to try to get the Never Biden crowd with this Medicare for all.
Big time.
Well, temporary Medicare for all.
Yep. Like if he pushed a trial Medicare for all, like where he said, this is just to see what would happen, Medicare for all. And we already know how it would work out. The Heritage Foundation and Cato, two far right think tanks, right? We say think in quotes, but they already figured out it would save like a fuckload of money. So if you're fiscally conservative and you're opposed to Medicare for all, like even if you're right wing and you love seeing brown people die, like you have to at least think about saving some money.
Yeah, because it's just the fucking, this whole situation, the COVID, all this, like, it's depressing, man.
Yeah, it's been gnar, like in terms of the bearings that people have in terms like cultural bearings and like what good and bad is It's kind of unmoored. That's been really interesting. The social, like what this is, where I'm like, I'm talking to people, I'm seeing people's faces. I know there's people out there. The isolation has been, it's been alienating, like viscerally alienating to people.
Yeah, because you see people and you know they're out there, but you know that contact is just.
Yeah,
I think once it's over, like you're gonna see a boom, definitely.
Yeah,
like with babies, with like there's gonna be an economic boom for sure. I think we're gonna see an economic boom like after the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Whether that's good or bad.
Yeah, well it was bad last time, right? We saw capital pretty much coalesce and destroy both parties, any type of like progressive agendas.
Yeah.
So luckily though, that's already happened to both our political parties now. So they won't need to do that. And I don't know, hopefully this depression, I'm just joking. This depression is going to hurt the workers, way more than it hurts the moneyed class. It's going to be just as bad as the Great Depression, if not worse. It's not great.
I think it'll radicalize a bunch of people, though, if there's any positive to take away from it.
Right. That's the accelerationist idea. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like I would like to see what the sales on Capital by Marx and Engels is now. Like I want to see if it's like any boom.
Yeah. Link, by the way, I'll put a link in the description to Capital Volume 1. Not for sale, but a full online version. It's free. Don't pay for books ever.
No.
Steal books or read books online. Don't buy books. And also, Zero Books had a good primer on, like YouTube primer on how to read Capital. So I don't know. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It was called Herding Cats. It's pretty good. Now, I will say, like, reading it, I got a little more out of it than I got from those video series. But if you're a bored person and you don't like reading, then that's probably pretty good.
See, I'm a bad leftist. I haven't really read it. I've read excerpts and I've watched a bunch of reviews on it from other leftists. But it's kind of like trying to read the Bible.
Yeah. If you didn't start doing it when you were like 5, you're not getting through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I like to have like a suggestion at hand for like, look, you don't have to read the whole thing. Here's a primer. It is like 10 videos long. It's a big fucking thing. But they go through pretty much every part of it. And a lot of people that do like capital primers, what they do is they go like, now pretend you have corn. And it's like, all right, calm down, right?
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. Like, don't just let him talk about wool, like let him do it. You don't have to make it another commodity that you're going to make husk dresses out of or something, So Herding Cats, Zero Books, shouts out. Those guys are really good. Douglas Lane, awesome, good guy. He definitely deserves your YouTube clicks. Don't buy Angela Nagel's book though. Fuck her.
So where are you sitting politically? I know we've had the conversation on anarchism before at 1048 actually.
Yeah.
Like, where are you sitting? I'm a recent convert to communism myself. Like I said, having a child chilled me out. So like anarchy kind of. I'm definitely a Marxist-Leninist now.
Yeah. For a long time, I called myself an anarchist that would love to own a tank. Like, I would love to be able to wield a tank against capital. However, I think the more I read into like what the origin of anarchism was, and that it is the liberal individualist trying to come to terms with Marxism, right? Trying to understand what Marx was trying to tell us to do from the point of view of a person that's living in a completely different time from him. Even Kropotkin and all that, right? He's still saying, well, you've lived under capital for a generation, and so you're already indoctrinated to liberalism, and this is how to do it, right? So the idea, like, I don't think there's a real need to say I'm an anarchist, I'm a whatever. I am a Marxist, period, right?
Yeah.
Now, do I think a Leninist economic model is the way to go at achieving it? Depends on context, right? Did Mao succeed in his goals? I don't know. There's a lot of landlord skulls that aren't charging rent anymore. So that sounds like success to me, right?
Yeah.
There's a little country called North Korea that still seems to be standing in spite of American imperialism, trying as hard as it fucking can to stop him. There's this little dude, Ho Chi Minh, that sure seemed to think it was a good idea. And he sure as fuck set them up for some success in the face of imperialism. So to that end, absolutely, I think Leninism works in specific context, especially in terms of a defensive mechanism against the great Satan.
Yeah. And man, the more I see shit from my pro-capitalist peers, each day, like, I keep turning into more and more of a fucking tanky. Like,
yeah,
Stalin, Stalin just had a finesse about him.
Man. Yeah, the more it's the old Norm Macdonald joke about Hitler where he's like, the more I read about that guy, the less I care for him. With Stalin, it's like, man, the more I read about him, the more I love him.
Yeah, and you've got to get outside sources, like any kind of American writer who will write about Stalin, who will write about, well, not really Che, but about Castro.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's some Red Scare shit. But when you get outside sources from like other leftists out of this country, like, I learned so much about fucking Castro this year that made me so pro Castro.
Yeah. Yeah. Castro, I think, was my first like awakening to how deep Nazi propaganda goes and how the Red Scare like fucked us up on like what we even think about history. Castro was like, man, that dude was a hero and he's a fucking boss. Like, you can't fuck with Castro. That dude fucking rocked 100%.
And I think we talked about it a little bit on the Dixieland of the Proletariat episode about the pigs, about Castro fucking, the picture of young Castro executing the guy.
Yeah. Oh, I was saying I was going to Google that shit and I never Googled it. Castro executing guy. And then execution by shooting in the Cuban Revolution. Image. There we go. Wasn't that bad. World leaders today. Here's a picture. Okay. Political opponent. Oh, this is some fucking Reddit guy saying he was bad because he executed this guy. Let's see. Search Google for image. Just on the picture of him shooting a guy. God damn, Google is such fucking reactionary bullshit. It tries to say it's Che Guevara shooting girls. Like, I'll screen cap that. It's fucking gnar. So Snopes. There we go. Maybe that'll be good. Because even with, capitalist propaganda, maybe they'll at least tell us the truth.
All right, well,
false. Che Guevara never shot any women in the face. Also, that picture was from Yugoslavia. This one is from... All right, that's not the right picture. That's not helpful. Who the fuck is my man shooting?
Okay, while you're looking that up,
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders and his recent, it was about a month ago when he dropped. Do you think he's a good guy caught in a bad situation, or a bad guy who put on a good front for a while?
I don't think there are good guys or bad guys anymore. And definitely inside of like, you know, the two hegemonic parties, right? The two, I mean, if we're going to say all cops are bastards, then all Democrats and all Republicans are bastards, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders was that nice cop that didn't murder you, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's real easy when you meet that cop and you're a little kid to love him a little bit, right? You're like, you know what? That guy is the cop with the fucking, with the bullhorn on the cop car. He comes to your neighborhood and he battle raps with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's fucking
It's like
cool.
Chris Evans as Captain America. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I want to like him so bad, but his
He's
name's
still-
literally Captain America. He's
he's
Captain
still-
Imperialism.
Yep. He's still a fucking cop. He's still a narc. He's still a piece of shit. Okay, this didn't tell me who. I'm trying to figure out who the fuck he's killing, and they won't tell me. But here's the thing: Castro never killed anybody that didn't deserve it. So, checkmate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, Bernie wasn't a good guy in a bad party, and he's not a bad guy in a bad party. He's just a dude trying to do some shit, and the party platform he was given grew to an immense size, and it was great, and he did a good thing. I think if even half the people that got on board with like moderate social democracy start to even think about radicalizing in some kind of way, and read a little bit, then he'll have done more good politically than any politician since the 1930s.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what we want to happen will not happen without some sort of forceful revolution.
Right.
And that's why I tell my comrades that it's important you take care of yourself, you do some kind of physical training, because I promise you the other side is,
You're goddamn right they are.
I see so many 1776 shirts at the gym, it's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, we got to unify a lot better than we actually do. We've got to somewhat take care of ourselves, because, I mean, if you want what you say you want, it's going to come at a cost.
Yeah.
And it's going to be violent.
Yeah. Well, that's the old, like, we're talking about Malcolm X, the famous speech, April 12th, 1968 or 7, I can't remember, the ballot or the bullet, right? They don't give us the ballot as an option, right? We don't get the ballot as the option. They really don't give us the bullet as the option either.
No, it's not.
So
They
we
give
got
you
to
the
start
slow
doing
down.
direct, between direct mutual aid right now, because we're in a part where we're trying to save people's lives. So we really got to do some more actual, like, helping people without the state. But then we really need to, like, start building something that looks a lot like a fucking state.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I feel like this pandemic has opened a lot of people's eyes, and dare I say, I call COVID comrade COVID.
Yeah, man. When it kills cops, shit.
Hey, it has worked wonders with the NYPD.
That's right. Hey, if it looks like a comrade, quacks like a comrade, kills cops like a comrade,
Comrade.
it's a comrade. But that said, it is killing vastly more workers than it is capitalists.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We're on the front. I mean, there's a lot of essential out there that's not really essential.
oh yeah, like in terms of like forcing people to go into stuff.
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you
Like fast food workers technically really aren't essential.
Right.
I have no complaints about like what I'm doing because I view what I'm doing as an art. It's
Right.
I want to be at work. My boss gave us the option. He sat down with all of us and was like, hey, do you want to open up to do curbside? We came to a mutual decision. We knew the consequences. We knew the risk.
Right. Yeah. And it's like with fast food being called essential, it's really just, we don't want the government to give you money to stay home.
Yeah.
We want you to die.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just honestly think they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
The government or the capitalist or both?
The government.
Same thing. Yeah.
The capitalist, I mean, it's going to be a win for them either way. They're just going to wait it out. I mean, because no matter what, no matter how bad it gets, it'll only be bad for a certain amount of time. Then they're going to come a boom because that's just what capitalism does.
Right. Yeah, they can just short their own existing positions.
Yeah, it is
$1 billion fucking dollars when everything comes back.
Capitalism is a hydra. You're going to cut one head off and fucking you've got to kill it dead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's one of the like things with not just individual types of like identity politics, but also like the economics first people, where it's like it's all about class, and racism isn't real if everybody just has the means of production. It's like, well, no, racism is real and absolutely does uphold that form of oppression, right? You have to kill it all dead. Yeah, for sure.
And like some of the biggest like socialist countries are still some of the most like fucking just racially like pure countries. Like look at Sweden.
They're racist. Yeah, racist as fuck. Not even trying to be. They don't have to think about it in terms of like actually dealing with each other.
I said Sweden, but I meant to say Switzerland.
Yes.
Switzerland,
I knew what
Liechtenstein.
Yeah. And they're not socialist neither. I mean, Sweden or Switzerland, neither one of them are socialist, but like they have a lot of
democratic socialists.
Yeah. They have like democratic positions on stuff. But then, they don't have to think about most forms of oppression in real terms the way we do, in an integrated continent with racial minorities and a racial majority that is hegemonically in control of everything. That we can actively decolonize by giving people more of a democratic voice in things. So where they don't have to even think about that shit, they just go, well, people should vote, I guess. I don't know. Fuck, whatever.
Liechtenstein is like a small country, like right outside of Switzerland.
Yeah, they have rail free at the point of service. They're the first country ever to do that.
It's been a certain amount of years. Like they haven't had any new people like migrate to their country. Like it's like Hitler's wet dream there.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Why is that?
It's just because like.
Is it like socially isolated or?
Yeah, and it's a really rich nation. Like it's a very small, very rich nation.
And no immigrants?
No immigrants.
Are they like nationalist on purpose, or is it an accident?
I think it was something that was like on purpose at first, but like just so many generations have gone through it that it just like they don't think of it that way now.
Huh. That shit sucks.
Yeah, and I know you can like it's easy to visit, but like it's hard to get citizenship there. Like extremely hard.
Got it. Yeah, that was when people talk about Europe or like specifically like capitalist countries in Europe that have strong welfare states like UBI, or public transit free at the point of service, or jobs guarantees, or housing as a human right and healthcare as a human right. It's real. The easiest way to explain to them that that's not socialism is they're not part of it like an international network, right? And they're definitely not trying to like let the workers have any say, right? There's still a hegemonic class of rich people that get to make all the money, when everybody goes to work. What they're doing is they're giving people little Scooby snacks, right? They're saying, please don't radicalize and please don't value your labor.
But it's almost like they're doing all this stuff, like giving them like the good housing, the universal basic income as a form of nationalism.
Yeah, big time.
Say, hey, be proud that you're from this nation. We're doing this for this nation, for the strength of this nation.
Yeah.
It's diet fascism.
Yeah. And that would be the scariest fucking thing. Like when we say Trump is running to the left of Biden, we don't think he's a leftist. We just mean Biden is so fucking far right that Trump can do nationalism and it seems to his left.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we're not saying Trump is good. We're saying Biden is so fucking bad that Trump seems better if you don't look at what fascism is.
And I guess I'm one of the rare few that I wouldn't call Trump a full-blown fascist. I think Trump is 100% to the core a fucking capitalist.
Yeah, exactly. But so fascism, the quick and dirty, fascism arises specifically to protect capital during times when capital is in crisis, right?
Yeah.
Now, Trotsky said that a fascist leader needs to be a member of the working class, right?
Yeah.
Well,
look at El Duce. He was a working class socialist before he was
right. And like Mussolini and and
that's what I'm talking about. That's El Duce.
And like and Pinochet too. But in America, what is working class? We're 90% tertiary sector labor. So if you're a small business tyrant or a fucking landlord, the working class, the people that are class mobile in the working class are absolutely very similar looking to Trump. And I don't see how it's like that big a deal to call him a fascist leader. Now, I don't think he necessarily intentionally be's a fascist. I don't think he do fascism on purpose. I think if he does fascism, it's an accident.
Yeah.
Let's pause for 2 seconds so I can make a drink too, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
Hell yeah, pack a fat lip, and we are back. We were ready to go. Diet orange soda and some vodka.
Nice. So we're talking about Trump and fascism. How he's not an intentional fascist.
Yeah. Does it need to? So I don't know about like people that have written about this before us. In terms of, does it need to be intentionally fascism to be fascism, right? Like in the Mussolini example, he thought that he was doing a syndicalism, right, as a nationalist, right? So he thought he was doing leftism, or well, he claims to have been thinking he was doing a syndicalism, but he was doing it in the service of protecting capitalism, like of protecting the capital's interests. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting to think about where it's like if Trump runs to the left of Biden on Medicare for all, or shit, if he came out and said, we're going to have transit free at the point of service, no one has to own cars anymore, like he goes left of the Green New Deal, right, and says, there's trains from every man, woman, and child's house to every place of business, every city center, and fuck cars, and GM can eat my dick, right? He still wouldn't be a leftist because he's still a nationalist.
Yeah. And I don't think he'll necessarily be the candidate to pull some shit like that.
No, he
won't. I do believe it is definitely coming from the right. And if shit keeps going the way it is with how the left is and Democrats, we'll get to that eventually.
What part where we have like a a
a
populist.
very left-leaning fascist.
Yeah,
in
like
office.
they'll use left language to push fascism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, look at all like it's not a big deal now because a lot of people really aren't trying to get here, but
Right.
immigration's completely closed now. He like just kind of snuck that one in.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say I have to put caveat on the idea that Trump is going to be left of Biden. Biden is a Reagan capitalist, right?
Yeah.
He's the right wing that we know and we understand. Trump knows capitalism requires the violent arm of the state to enforce it. And he knows that sometimes that violent arm of the state isn't holding a stick, it's holding a carrot, right?
Yep.
Because he's gotten big fucking bites out of that carrot.
You know, I think a lot of Biden's steam is coming off the nostalgia that people still have for Obama. And yes, that was a huge bounce to elect a person of color into office.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, he's the drone king.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I could sit here and talk shit on Obama for a long time. But even to talk shit on Biden, I don't even have to talk shit on Obama because Obama picked Biden specifically because he was far right. He picked him specifically to appease the Hillary people, right? He picked him to appease Epstein and Bill Gates and Harvey Weinstein and all those other kid rapists, billionaires that needed a far right presence in the White House. And he needed to say, look, I'm going to talk some shit about healthcare being a human right. I'm not going to do it. And here's how I'll prove that I'm not going to fucking do it. Look at this guy. And then point right over at this 78-year-old fucking octogenarian motherfucker that will eat ice cream and opposed busing like
Yeah, like he's a rapist. He's a racist. He's a fucking Republican. I don't care what he's registered as, what he's running as.
Yeah.
Look at his voting record. He is a Republican.
He's to the right of like most Republicans in the 70s.
Yeah. Like he's oh man.
Yeah.
He's bad, man. I don't want to say he's worse than Hillary.
So Hillary's a weird one because she's like a mixed bag of like policy and rhetoric, right? There's policy and there's rhetoric. And Biden's older, he's been in office more. So you have his rhetoric and you have his policy. So when we talk about his policy, he opposed busing. That's pretty big. All the banking shit that Elizabeth Warren claims to have gotten into politics to like fight against, right? He's the worst person ever. Hillary wrote Senate Bill 6, which was like a handgun bill that was pretty shitty, not great, kind of center shit lib, kind of like a Beto O'Rourke kind of thing, like where it's like, guns are bad. That's not left or right. It's just shit libby. Like there's no, I'm not saying kids should blow their fucking brains out because people keep their guns out of the cabinet, but the workers should obviously be armed, of course.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think everyone should own a gun.
Yeah.
And everyone should know how to responsibly take care of a gun and keep it in a safe spot.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't know. That's a really touchy topic.
I was talking about gun control under communism, under like various Leninist style forms of like large state socialist projects. Because they were like, there's been gun control under like some of them, and it was like, well, you can't put the cart before the horse. That was a luxury. Gun control was voluntary, first of all. And it was done once you get rid of the landlord class. You don't get to have gun control and still have capitalists and cops that are armed, right?
Yeah.
Because then you just have fucking oppression, right? Just blatant fucking oppression. So, fuck that. It's
And
like,
not only do you need one to defend yourself, I feel like every household should have a gun in case the bottom falls out, to feed your family.
yeah. That was actually the example was the Cuban gun control. Cuban gun control was voluntary. It was not mandatory. And even though Cuba has like a very small amount of hunting land, it was still legal to hunt under gun control for a long time. So
Not
it's
only do
like
I
a
think
big
you
red
should have a
herring.
gun,
What's
I
that?
think not only do I think you should have a gun, I think the government should supply every household with a pistol and a shotgun.
So the Second Amendment to the United States. So I'm a big. This is like a thing where I break with a lot of certain kinds of leftists, where I think the American Constitution is actually really beautifully written for building socialism, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it was written between that middle stage between mercantilism and capitalism, right? And yes, it absolutely was built to do colonialism, right? Recognizing that to decolonize the United States and to build socialism here, our Constitution and our legal system is pretty beautifully set up where we don't have to change that much to make it fucking perfect.
Yeah.
The Second Amendment, for instance, says that we have the right to hold and bear arms, right? For the founding of a defensive militia, right? Well, a well-regulated militia. Well, how the fuck are you going to have a well-regulated militia without ensuring the right to hold and bear arms? It didn't say the privilege if you have money. They said the right to hold and bear arms. That sounds a lot like guns for all.
Yep.
That sounds a lot like a fucking jacket patch on a grindcore band's drummer's jacket that says armed trans women. Right?
Yeah.
It says that should not cost money. Give everybody a motherfucking gun right now.
Every household should be provided a base level house,
Yeah.
a base level vehicle, and 2 base level guns. That's how I feel.
Yeah. And the other part of that is if you ensured transit as a human right, it would not be very long before people started doing the fucking math and we stopped driving cars.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, yeah, that's... if we make it to that. Because, I mean, a month from now, we could be living in 28 days later.
Yeah. I mean, and if that happens, shit, I don't know. I'm not really prepped up for that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is. But, you know, have you seen a lot of eco-fascism on the social medias lately?
Dude, I'll tell you this, though. I heard yesterday morning, I was outside and I heard in the distance a pterodactyl screaming. And I was like, you know what? We were the virus the whole time.
I saw a picture of a pair of Timberlands in the New York subway without anyone wearing them. And it was like, Timbs are finally starting to roam the streets of New York again. I'm just like, oh, God.
We were the virus the whole time. Yeah, no, that concept of like, capitalism was the fucking virus. We didn't die. 100,000 Americans died. That's not that many yet, right? We're not even close to the fucking middle of this thing. 1/10 of the number of people that are gonna die have died, right? And so we don't have to kill people to fix the fucking environment. That's the whole fucking point. You kill 8 people, to scare away everybody else from engaging in capitalism, to fix the environment, kill those 8 people.
Yep.
That's the extent of my eco-fascism. Matter of fact, I'll say this. I will engage in eco-fascism if we're talking about killing the 9 richest people on the planet.
Yeah. Well, Bill Gates is gone, so.
Is he still one of the top 9? I think he is, yeah.
Yeah, he vacated the country.
What I say is, if you prove that someone fucked a kid 20 years ago and got away with it, then we should kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's kill him for that. That's what we'll say. That's why we're killing. It's not because he has an enormous amount of like resources or anything like that. We'll say it's because he rapes children.
Yep. Hell, I would almost say sacrifice most of Hollywood.
Yeah, most of them. Fuck it. Yeah, even the not that rich ones. Dane Cook, Tom Hanks. Who else you got?
Oh, Tom Hanks hurts a little bit. I'm such a big Toy Story fan, but yeah.
I mean, it's a movie about them like scaring the shit out of a kid that got molested.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you think Sid was molested?
Yeah, I think he definitely got molested. Yeah, that kid got touched. He was making art and like taking his pain and turning it into expression in the world. He was taking his like negative emotions out on inanimate objects that he didn't think were real. And then it turns out they're real too.
Yeah.
That's exactly like if you talk to a kid that got molested. Now, when I'm talking about the kid that got molested, a kid that got molested by a kid that got molested, they always talk about it like that kid was the victim and they're the victim of the victim.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dark.
Later on in the Toy Story movies, Sid became the working class. Andy was going to college to be a scholar. Sid was out there picking up trash. And he still had a great attitude.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember any of the second or third movie.
My daughters made me watch every one of them since quarantines happened weekly. So
yeah, I'm always very grateful that I don't have children. But during this quarantine, shouts out, man. Seriously, do the work.
I love it. As much as I complain about it, it's great. It's great to have a little person who does all kind of weird shit, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, raising fucking kids is that's important shit to do.
Another thing I noticed, I'm doing another watch through of the entire Dragon Ball Z series.
Hell yeah.
How come they're Super Saiyan form or whatever? They get blonde hair and blue eyes.
Oh shit. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And you know how sometimes Japanese culture, they love to fetishize fascism and
oh no, for sure. Japanese culture is extremely proud of their like homogeneity.
Yeah.
And they're they are pretty okay with knowingly being racist. Like when I was there was an ice cream bar, and it was a banana peanut butter ice cream dipped in chocolate, right, on like a stick.
Yeah.
And okay, so you got, out of everything I just said, bananas, peanut butter, chocolate. How would you market that? If you're an advertising agent, you just say, it's 3 fucking dope flavors and we're going to put them together and it's awesome, right?
How'd they market it though?
A giant black guy pretending to be a monkey.
Oh.
Yeah. It was some like late 40s America level racism.
Yeah, fuck. How familiar are you with Dragon Ball Z?
I've never seen it.
Google Mr. Popo right now.
Okay. Mr. Popo. By the way, fuck the police, Mr. Popo. Oh, it thought I said Mount Popo? Get the fuck out of here. Mr. Popo. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a mammy doll.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
That's a mammy doll with a jewel hat.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
motherfucker, this fat motherfucker.
It's a minstrel character in a 1980s Japanese anime.
How the now, if what I had just told you, like if I wasn't already so like intricately familiar with Japanese racism, right, I would be surprised. I'm actually even seeing this like black bodybuilder character in street advertisements for an ice cream cone, specifically only because of the banana part, by the way. Like, he wasn't like covered in peanut butter, right? He was just holding a fucking banana and being like, and so this show is so I talked about this show when I was like on, side hustle, drove for waiter for a little bit, and like you'd hook up with people, everybody would like congregate in a parking lot, right? And like one of the dudes that drove was a black nerd. If you're not familiar with black nerds, shouts out, love it, Black autism, Black excellence. This Black autist nerd was like talking to me about this show, and I was like, he was telling me about all these characters, and I was like, hell yes, this show sounds awesome. And this is a long time ago, and I still haven't gotten around to seeing it because I have other shit to do. But the fact that like Black Americans are watching this show and being like, and coming up to white people in a parking lot and telling them, dude, you got to check out Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
God damn.
Well, the first couple of seasons it's also a good parody's not the word, but like the first couple of seasons, like there's a race of people called the Saiyans.
Right.
It kind of plays a lot into like Black excellence. Like I've watched a whole video on it. It's
okay. No, I'm on board. Okay.
But when they see the moon, they turn into giant monkeys. So like it's also like really racist. Like
They do what?
Yeah, when they see the moon, they have a tail. This whole race is born with a tail, but when they see the moon, they turn into giant monkeys.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. When I say it out loud, I'm just like, wow, this shit is wild. Like.
Did they just like find a weird like 1845 book of like Georgian aristocracy folk tales about slaves or what?
Well, apparently it's what's the name of the old Japanese fable? Tales from the West or some shit like that.
Yeah. So it's based
Apparently
off that.
Yeah.
So like some Japanese dude in the 1800s ran around America, and then some white people told him shit, and then he was like, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
And then you get Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, which is pretty racist.
That makes sense that it would be racist, though.
Yeah.
It's a little depressing that got made.
Yeah, and it's a huge hit. Still a huge hit. Still an ongoing series.
People still tell me to watch it. Black people still tell me to watch it.
Yeah. Wow.
Black Americans tell me to watch this show. Now I don't want to watch it. Should I watch it? Is it funny?
There's a lot of good like humor and
Wait, is it ironic?
Kinda.
Like they know it's racist?
I don't think so. No, not in that kind of way.
Okay. It's not like
It's also really sexist.
they make the women do the dishes.
Yeah, and they they make the women real naggy.
God damn, that rocks. Okay. Now you're selling me on it again.
Okay, but the fight scenes are great. The violence is great.
Okay. Okay. So it's like Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's like you see this, you know it's racist like Mel Gibson, but
Right.
the violence is good.
And there is at least some black representation.
Yeah, there's some black excellence in it. Not nowhere near as much as there should be.
Wait,
But the characters,
are there like actual black people in it, or is it just red lip minstrel?
no, I think Mr. Popo is gonna be the closest thing you get to a black person
Okay, that's not good.
at all. Well,
That would
but
be like saying Amos and Andy was black excellence.
you've got a green character who seems like they're based off a black character.
No, the green one, that's the one that like works out real hard in 5G or something.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Piccolo.
Piccolo. Now, I know him because of Iron Lou. If you're not familiar with Iron Lou, shouts out. My man, he's doing, he calls it swolesthenics. If you're not familiar, swolesthenics is like body weight fitness, but then also lift heavy shit and then put heavy shit down together. Like he's integrating these like gymnast arts and lifting heavy. So he just crushes shit in like World's Strongest Man for his weight class because he does Piccolo shit like, I don't know, put some fucking moon boots on, get on the bar, and throw 50-pound dumbbells in each hand and do fucking chin-ups.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
My man's fucking doing the work. I want to say his farmer walk is like 725.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I know who Piccolo is. Because this dude is just crushing sit-ups with moon boots on, 50-pound dumbbells per hand, like honk, honk. Definitely made me think about getting some moon boots.
Well, Jason, this has been a great time. I'm gonna have to wrap this up though.
Yeah, I think we're done, dude. I think we've done at least an hour. Tyler Easterling, one of the 3 mics on what we originally had planned to be the Great Satan, which was you and me and Will, I think. Nice to have you. I'm definitely fucking hammered now because we've been talking for a hot minute and we pregame to touch. So,
Yes, and hey, next time you have me on, I'm gonna bring along one of your old comedy buddies that I'll work with.
Oh, who?
Travis Johnson.
Man, love Travis.
Black
God,
Jesus.
the Black Jesus, Travis the Black Jesus Johnson. God damn, I miss Black Jesus. Hell yeah, we'll have Black Jesus on sometime. And y'all work together, so it's social distance, even if y'all are hanging out together.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, let's have him on sometime. Appreciate it. Thanks for being on. Let me make a shit. God damn it. I closed my YouTube window and I wanted a thing to happen at the end. Fuck it. You know what? Y'all don't need outro music. We're out of here. Overthrow America, death to America.
Eat the rich.
Eat the rich. Cook them low and slow.
Yep.